Hey everyone! So today, for the daily vlog, I thought that I would do, I tried doing the walking around thing yesterday, and I'm not quite sure if my channel is ready for that yet until we start going to Memphis. So I thought I'd do something a little bit less challenging, maybe mixing back and forth from day to day. But today I am going to do my top 10 favorite book series that I've read or am in the process of reading. Um, so I thought that we'd delve into that. So the first one that I have is the Harry Potter series. Um, duh. Uh, that one I grew up on. I remember like reading the first one and being so excited when they started. So that one obviously made the list. I know that it's more than one book, but we're just going to count it as one, as a blanket statement. The next one that I would recommend, it sounds a little bit silly, is the House of Night series. It is about vampires, which is a little bit silly, and actually I'm going to do another one afterward that relates to vampires as well. Silly, yet I find it a very, very fascinating read. So the House of Night series, again, more than one book, but we're still going to blanket statement as one. The next one after that, still involving vampires, and then we delve away from that, is Vampire Diaries. Um, I like I like the books. I like the television series more, which is a little bit hypocritical usually because usually the books are better than the television series. But in this instance, it's the reverse. But I still enjoy the books. I still enjoy reading the books. And I would still recommend them to people. The one after that, I'm going to say is there are just so many. I would say Pride and Prejudice. Um, I saw the movie before I ended up reading the book, and I don't know if you've all ever seen the movie. It has Keira Knightley in it, and I would highly recommend. I don't know. It's up in the air about what you would want to watch first. I personally found that watching the movie first helped me to understand the book then because it allowed me to place a face with like a character in the book, and it was easier for me to follow the storyline. I feel, but if you wanted to read the book first, I would say go for it as well. It might just not be as clear for you all as it was for me. So again, that's up to you about what you would want to do. I'm not really sure how that would have worked out for me, but I mean, go for it. If you want to, I would say go for it. The next book after that I would recommend is called A Prayer for Owen Meany. I find it. I've read this book in high school. It was an assigned reading book, and it's one of the ones that I found to be greatly moving and has obviously stuck with me. So I've read it several times even after I've graduated clearly, and it's like stuck to me, and it's a very like meaningful and powerful book that I would highly recommend for you to read if you were looking for a good book to read. The next one that I'm going to suggest is The Great Gatsby. Another book. I know it's coming out in movies. Actually, I'm really excited for it to be out in movies. It looks really good with Leonardo DiCaprio in it. And just like the party scenes look so. I digress. But as a book, I would highly recommend it as well. It's a really good read too. I would actually recommend rereading it, like I'm about to do, before going to go see the movie again, just so you have a refresher course and you can kind of compare how it is with a movie. Usually, it sometimes it doesn't end well in those instances if you're directly comparing it. But I mean, you can enjoy both at the same time. The next book after that, I would say, is The Da Vinci Code. Dan Brown, while not necessarily historically accurate, I would say still a very interesting read. Nonetheless, like Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons, but I'm only counting the Da Vinci Code. Angels and Demons, and then he did a Washington one that takes place actually in the United States. So I would recommend them, but I'm only counting the Da Vinci Code. But I would recommend them all because they're all fascinating reads, and very interesting. They'll like keep you moving. They're very fast paced. If you're wanting to read them. The next book is At Swim, Two Boys. this one came to me through a recommendation, and it is gay literature. I don't know. It takes place in Ireland, and the dialogue is a little bit tricky to pick up. And but the storyline is very like interesting, and I don't know if anyone is into gay fiction or not, or literature, excuse me. But I would definitely like recommend trying to read this book. It was very interesting to me, and I really enjoyed it, which is why it's on this list. So I would just say try it out. It's a different genre, and I would say go for it. If you're looking for something to read that's a little bit off what you're normally used to reading. The next one, and it's the second to last one, is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Enough said, I feel. Marvelous book. Really good movie, too. Made me tear up. I was crying by the end of the movie, as I'm sure anyone else who has seen it is. But I would also recommend reading the book. It was a very lovely book. And so that's one that I would recommend reading as well. And the last book that I'm going to say on this top 10 is Beautiful Creatures. Now, I have only started reading it, and the movie is what caught my attention for me to actually start reading this book. But I really want to read the book before I finish the movie. So I read a lot of my books on my iPad or like my iPhone because I travel a lot, so it's not really conducive for me to have a large amount of like heavy novels with me when I'm traveling. So I'm gonna end up purchasing the book and like continuing to read it. But I've read the sampler that they have available, and if you ever want to try to see if you're interested in a book, I would definitely recommend getting the sampler. If you have like an iPad or iPod or an iPhone even, in their book app to see if you would be interested in the book, I would highly recommend doing that kind of thing. And so Beautiful Creatures, I would recommend reading and seeing if you like it. I know that I've enjoyed it so far, and I'm going to continue reading it. So yeah, so that's my top 10. I'll review it really quickly for you. So we have the Harry Potter series, A Prayer for Owen Meany, the House of Night series, Pride and Prejudice, At Swim 2 Boys, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Vampire Diaries, The Great Gatsby, The Da Vinci Code, and Beautiful Creatures. Wait. No, I think that's 10. Some honorable mentions, though, while I was just sitting here thinking. We also have the Hunger Games series as an 11th book. I won't necessarily go into that, but I would highly recommend that as well. Also, some of the Lord of the Rings. They're very interesting as well. So that is all that we are discussing today would be my top 10 books. And I hope that you all got some of this out of it, or at least some good book suggestions from me that, like, if you're looking for something to read, I hope that this has kind of helped you to see if it might be where you want to go or something else that you could read. So I shall see you all tomorrow, and good Lord knows what we're going to be doing. But yeah, so I'll see you all later. Peace out.